I'm going to call to order the code enforcement hearing for February 28th, 2024. It's 3:04. My name is Amity Barnard. I'm the special magistrate for today's hearing. I think usually the cases are all violation or fine mitigation rather. Bit about process. When you hear your case called, come to the podium to my left. The city will present its case, and then you will get an opportunity to present any evidence you have, cross-examine any witnesses that the city puts on. At the end of the conversation, I will make a final ruling, and you'll get an order that reflects that in the mail. First thing I'm going to do is swear anybody in who's here to testify on any items on today's agenda. So if you're here to testify, please raise your right hands and stand up. Sir in the blue shirt, are you here for an agenda item? Can you stand and raise your right hand for me? Thank you. Do you all swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. And with that, I'll turn to the city to call its first case.
The first, yeah, I think you should approve the minutes first from January.
I'm sorry, there are on there. Yep. Item 2 on the agenda is the minutes of January 31st, 2024. I will approve those minutes. Sorry about that.
The first case we wait here is, hello?
There you go. I got you now.
The first case we wait here is item number 1, case number 10-23-10003, Daniel Mahalik, 2732 Point Circle, and this case will be presented by Officer Burnell.
Good afternoon. My name is Officer Jerry Burnell. I'm a code compliance officer for the city of Green Acres. This property was first cited on 9/18 by me, and it's a case about dead trees, overgrowth on the property, closed hurricane shutters, ground vegetation. I've submitted a package for evidence. Items included are proof of ownership, which comes from Papa's, proof of service for notice of violation dated 10/17/23, posted affidavit, and it's in the file. Proof of service for request to appear dated 2/2/24, and it was posted. Affidavit of postings in file, and photos are included. And as of February 27 of this year, the shutters, ground vegetation, and overgrowth violations have been complied with. All we have is the pending the dead palm trees.
Okay, the dead trees are still there?
Correct.
Yes.
Everything else is complied?
Correct.
Within 30 days.
Is it 2 trees or more than that? Is it 3?
I believe it's 3.
Oh, yeah, here's a third one, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. A half of one, I guess.
Yeah.
Is the respondent present for this case? Is that you, sir? Okay. Go ahead and hold on for me just 1 second. So what is the city seeking in terms of remedy on this case?
$50 a day, 30 days. He's probably going to have to get a permit to cut that tree down, so I'm willing to give him 45 days.
All right. Sir, can you come to the podium for me?
This damn call doesn't want to go.
Your name, sir?
My name is Daniel Mahalik.
Okay, very good, sir. You're the junior, you're the owner?
I'm
you're-
the junior, I'm the owner.
Okay, very good. Thank you. If I can ask the city attorney to show him this case file. Thank you.
Excuse me. Oh.
Do I get to keep that?
The other one that she has said 5931 on it in the little corner or something. That's what she has.
This is spectacular. So, yes.
So let's just get to the documents. Any objection to those documents being entered into the record?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and then you can explain to me whatever you were going to say with regard to the trees. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. All right, so go ahead, sir. You've heard what the city has said. They said everything except for the dead trees is complied.
So there's a few questions that I have. The shutters that were up, I believe the shutters that were up were from the backyard. So the backyard faces a ravine of water, right? And so I don't know how that's a conflict of any interest if nobody but anybody walking my backyard can see my shutters closed when I'm traveling, right? So I spend some time in California, some time in New York, and so the front of the house looked like it was unshuttered, but the back of the house was shuttered, and it's essentially protection.
So
I
I
don't know.
understand that. I guess just
That's
one.
the first thing.
Yeah. So just so you know, they're telling me that the shutters have complied. Obviously, you took them off. Is that correct?
So they're accordion shutters.
Or you open them up, right?
Yeah.
So the issue is that their code, the city code, says you can only close the shutters during specified times when there's a storm coming. You cannot leave your shutters closed all the time. So it's not that nobody can see them from the backyard. It's that the code doesn't allow you to keep them closed except for in the specified times when there's an impending storm. So that's why you were cited, and I'll let the city add anything else if they feel like there's anything else to add there.
And
No.
the second thing, Your Honor, is the trees that you're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this home that I occupy, I had to do a rent to own because the owner that owned the property said I could rent it from him with the stipulation that I can buy it, but I have to rent it for a few years first so he can make some money. So I bought the house at a fixed price, had a 5-year amortization, bought it 2016, amortized it, and finished paying it off in 2022, okay?
Okay.
Over the course of that time from 2011 through, let's say, 2020, I must have spent over $40,000 of landscaping. I bought dirt, I bought sod, I bought all those plants. Everything was perfect. I actually went through the phone before I came here to show you pictures.
Okay.
While I was away, well, no, actually, while I was in Florida, suddenly, like 5 or 6 trees just suddenly died. A landscaper who didn't do the proof of the dirt said, it's obvious this has been poisoned, right? So the point being is that I'm aware there's no reason why 1/3 of the trees are suddenly dead and the other 2/3 of the trees are healthy, right? So the point being is that I didn't do anything about it because I was waiting to see what's going to finish out here. I didn't know what's going on, but the bottom line is I spent $40,000 from the landscapers because my house is pitched 18 feet above sea level, and I'm about 16 feet from the water, so it's pitched really. So when they drive by, and if it's raining, and they do their lawnmowers with the wheels, and I sodded everything too, ma'am. Mm-hmm. So in addition to buying dirt to make it kind of flush and sodding it and resprinkling it, the wheels would spin and it would look like someone was doing a burnout. Point being is that I can show you pictures that I maintained the house for years, painted it, new shutters, new roof, hurricane, what else? The lanai, and then the landscaping I probably put into the house in the last 3 or 4 years, over $120,000. So the point being is that these trees, if I can quantify that they were poisoned, I would like to go back to the HOA and basically show proof of burden that they should take them down, because each tree may have cost anywhere between $750 to $1,000 because they were rather tall when I planted them.
How long have the trees been there?
Since 2011, ma'am.
Oh, so a long time. Okay.
And suddenly for them to just all brown and die and lose their fronds from the crown up is an indication that they were poisoned with either like an Epsom salt or some kind of a spray, because the other 2/3 of the trees are completely healthy.
When you say 2/3 of the trees, what do you mean? The other trees in your yard?
There are trees in
Yeah.
the back, right? Only from my back door window to the left, everything died. Everything to the right of my back door window is completely healthy and thriving. I think that's extremely unusual. I think it's going to cost me something like, I don't know, $1,500 to do an analysis on what caused the trees to die. But there were multiple species from strong, healthy coconut palms to queen palms. I don't know the other type of palm. I don't know what it's called. But there were species of palms that just turned brown and died.
Okay.
And so, make a long story short, before all of this happened too, ma'am, the HOA had a particular, I don't remember the names, a particular landscaping crew. And for the entire time that I lived at that property, the landscaping crew would do the hurricane pre-cut, usually in, let's say, late May through early July, right? When the new regime took over, probably late 2020, they just stopped maintaining the property. My lawn, and I can show you pictures too, when I came back to my driveway, when I traveled, right? My driveway, which has pavers, looks like I needed to mow the grass on the...
Yeah, because the weeds are growing.
Because-
Okay.
But the point being is that for 2 years, they didn't put the weed killer on the driveway, but now they are. So I do feel like I'm being a little bit messed with by somebody within the community without dropping names. And so that's why I've been kind of reluctant to do anything, because I want to quantify how these trees died in my absence, on top of the fact that it's over a $40,000 investment out the window.
Okay.
This is not a little money.
Yeah, no, I understand. That's
It's
an
an
investment.
over-improvement of the house.
Right. So what I can do is I can give you some time. Unfortunately, the code is very clear that any dead trees, tree stumps, dead and decaying plant material must be removed from the property. So the dead trees will have to be dealt with. The city was originally asking for 30 days. So I'll give you a little bit more time than that, given what you just said and the fact that you're going to do some investigating. But it's in everybody's best interest to have the dead trees removed, right? They become a hazard to your property, so you don't want them to remain.
April 15th,
I can't give you that. That's around about 45 days.
it'll be 45 days.
Tomorrow's-
2 days.
45 days will be April 13th, so that's fine.
April 13th is fine.
Can you do it by then? Get it done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Don't forget, you have to get a permit to cut down trees, or or a contractor, a landscaper.
Is that a vegetation removal permit or equivalent? Okay.
And it shouldn't be a problem since they clearly look like they're dying. And if you're gonna investigate, I would recommend that using a certified arborist who could look into it and then also certify that the trees aren't dead or dying.
Well, they're dead, right? So the point being is that if the current landscaping company that landscapes and is contracted with the Riverbridge community, South Point, if I hire them, I don't have to go through a permit, right? I mean,
No, you still need a permit.
Yeah, keep in mind the city's process and the HOA's process are two separate processes. So what you do with the HOA doesn't invalidate the city's process. So you'll need to get that permit. Just so he's clear, it's the two what look like palm trees without the tops and then the one stump. Is that right? Okay. Okay. All right. Anything further, sir?
so if I remove those trees, can I replace the trees with healthy species once I determine if the soil is contaminated?
Okay, that's a question you have to ask zoning, because they'll tell you what species can be, every property has to have a certain amount of trees, and then they'll tell you if you need more, or if you don't, and what species you can plant. The zoning's part, that's right next to, the second door to your right, the first
So
door
what
to your
about
right.
the current trees on the property, if they're not in compliance? I mean, why does it knock it out now? Do you understand? I just want to replace the species that died with the same species for continuity in the back of
Okay,
the...
so you can ask the zoning department on your way out if you like.
Yeah, what she's saying is that in terms of code enforcement, once you remove the 3 trees, that gets you out of code enforcement trouble, right? So replacing is a whole separate issue. She can't speak to that. You need to contact planning and zoning to figure out how many trees are required if you can replant the same thing. I don't know if there was a landscape plan or not, but as long as you get the 3 trees removed within the 45 days, then that gets you out of code enforcement trouble. As she said, make sure you apply for the vegetation removal permit so you don't get cited for failing to do that if you're going to have the trees removed. Is that a fee permit or a no fee permit?
I think it's a no-fee permit, but
Okay.
I'm not too sure.
Okay, and you may want to start that quickly. Usually that's they're pretty quick in terms of turnaround on those, but you want to get that initiated as quickly as you can so that that doesn't hold you up from getting the trees removed ultimately. Anything further, sir?
No, ma'am.
Anything further from the city?
No.
All right, in case 10-23-10003, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavits of posting and the testimony of city staff that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file and the testimony of the code officer that the respondent is in violation of section 7-413. And I'll require a respondent to comply within 45 days, or a $50 a day fine will start running for each day thereafter that the violation remains. So get the no fee permit in, get the trees removed within the 45 days, and that'll mean that you don't get any fines from code enforcement, and you'll get, make sure when the trees are removed, call code enforcement and get an affidavit of compliance so that you have for your files that you're out of trouble and that you're in compliance with the city code. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Best
you.
of luck to you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye, have a good day.
You too.
Sorry, the next case over here is item number 2, case number 3239740, Daisy Riccardi, 5931 Whispering Pine Way, A2, and this case will be presented by Officer DePonte.
Good afternoon. My name is Melanie DuPont, Code Compliance Officer for the City of Green Acres. This property was first cited on January 13th, 2023 by a previous code officer. This case is about closed shutters. I've submitted a package for evidence. The items included are proof of ownership from the Palm Beach County Property Appraiser, the proof of service for notice of violation dated January 19th, 2024, certified mail, a request to appear notice dated February 7th, 2024, mailed by certified mail. The photos are included in the file for your review.
So is it still in violation now?
That's correct.
Okay. What's the city seeking in terms of remedy?
10%, 15 days.
$50? 10%, you said 10%,
It's non-homestead.
right? The fine amount. So $100 a day
$100 a day
for 15 days.
for 15 days.
Comply within 15 days or $100 a day? You're trying to give me a math riddle today, weren't you? Not today. Not today.
That for all of them. $50 here. And this one's $100. Ay, ay, ay.
All right. So the photos you have in here look like there's one dated January 6th. The other one is from either a couple days ago, February 26th. So the city's testimony is that there's no hurricane and that this is violation of the city's code because it's not 14 days.
That's correct, yes.
Okay. Any communication with the respondent?
Nothing.
All right, and for the record, the respondent is not present. And then your notice of hearing. All right, you have signed green cards for both. All right, anything further from the city?
No, thank you.
All right, in case 3-23-9740, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the based on the notice of hearing and the notice of violation, as well as the signed certified mails for both, and the delivery confirmation copy in the case file, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the evidentiary case file that the respondent's in violation of section 7-432P for the shutters that remain closed on the property in violation of the time allowed in the city's code. I'll require respondents to comply within 15 days or face $100 a day for each day that the violation continues thereafter.
Thank you.
The next case we were here is item number 3, case number 5239819, Edward Napoli, 533 Broward Avenue. And this case will be presented by Officer Burnell.
Okay, good afternoon. Name is Jerry Burnell. I'm a code compliance officer for the City of Green Acres. This property was first cited by me on May 19, 2023. And this case is about inoperable vehicle on the property, wooden panels covering the windows, trash, debris on the property. The house address number is not on the property. There was some improvement. Some of the vegetation was cleared, but most of these violations still persist.
So nothing's complied?
Nothing's complied.
Okay.
I've submitted a package for the evidence. That includes proof of ownership from the property appraiser's office, proof of service for the notice of violation dated 5/19/23 through certified mail, and request to appear, which was dated February the 5th, 2024, through certified mail, and it was posted. Affidavit of postage is in the file.
Yeah, that's why we took them off, because those two complied.
We took off the window coverings.
No, the coverings is there. That's this one. The window
All right,
coverings,
so give me a little, I guess,
vehicle.
let me just make sure I can see all the violations.
This was the other violations he had on there, but we don't
So
have that.
it's shuttered with wood, is that right?
Yeah, it looks like
Yeah, like-
plywood and wood planks.
Okay. All right, so that's clear in the photo. Rubbish and garbage is just the garbage along the fence line there, the
Yes.
debris? Okay. And then the motor vehicle is the gray car that's in the bushes? And it doesn't have a tag, or it looks like it's?
Couldn't tell.
Okay. It
I
hasn't
would say no.
moved?
No, it hasn't moved.
And that's not a designated parking area, right?
No.
Okay. Is it an occupied house? I mean, is somebody living there or no?
I think so.
Maybe squatters.
Okay. All right, and then no address characters on the house, is that correct?
That's correct.
Is this where the fence is? Is that the front yard or is that the back?
That's the front yard.
That's the front yard, okay. And no communication with the respondent?
No, ma'am.
Okay. What is the city seeking in terms of remedy?
15 days, $50 a day.
And the city's position is that all this can be accomplished, 15 days is reasonable?
It's super old. And he has
The case
other
is super
issues.
old, you mean?
Other cases.
Yeah, the case was started, I think, in May of last year.
Okay, yeah, that's what he said, it was cited on May 19th,
And
okay.
nothing- I mean, just little things have been done, but this is a property owner who has several existing liens on this property for other violations.
I thought the name was familiar, okay.
Yeah, so,
Okay. They should be quick, they're easy fixes in terms of compliance,
Right.
so, okay. I'm comfortable with the 15 days then, okay. Anything further?
No.
All right, with that, in case 5-23-9819, I'll enter, for the record, the respondent's not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as Composite Exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find, based on the photographs in the case file and the evidentiary documents, I'll find first that the notice of violation had a signed certified mail. The notice of hearing was posted timely, so the city has good service for today's hearing. I'll find, based on the photos in the case file, that the respondent's in violation of section 7-423P, 7-419, 304. 3. Doesn't seem like all of them, is it?
That's it.
7423P, 7426A, I don't see that on the agenda.
No, because the 7423P and 7426C, that complied on February 27th.
So the shutters complied?
The rubbish and garbage complied?
That's the wrong number. The shutters did not comply. The only one that complied was the rubbish.
Okay, so the rubbish is complied.
Right. mhm.
Okay, that's the one I didn't see on the
Yes.
agenda, so that's right. So all that's outstanding is 7423P, 7419,
And 3043.
and 3043. Okay. All right, so the record is clear. I'll find the respondents in violation of section 7-423P for the shutters that remain on the property, 7-419 for the inoperable or unlicensed motor vehicle, and 304.3 for the failure to have premises identification. I'll require the respondent to comply within 15 days, or a fine of $50 a day will be assessed for each day that the violation continues thereafter.
The next case we will hear, and the last case is item number 4, case number 7239905, Walter McMurtry, 125 Jackson Avenue. And this case will also be presented by Officer Burnell.
Jerry Burnell, Code Compliance Officer for the City of Green Acres. This property was first cited by me on July 27, 2023, by me. And this case is about unregistered vehicles on the property. One is parked on the grass, the other on the driveway, and the house ID number. It's not are not placed on the property. I submitted a package for evidence, which includes proof of ownership from the property appraiser's office, proof of service for notice of violation, July 27, 23, which was posted on the property, an affidavit of posting in the file, and a request to appear notice on January the 8th, 24, also posted on the property, an affidavit of posting in the file.
I've never made mistakes like that. This needs house ID number.
Is this a civil citation that was also issued for the parking? This one?
No,
Or is that just a courtesy?
courtesy. 304.
Yeah.
All right, so the silver Mercedes doesn't have a tag, and then the orange car
Looks like a Corvette.
looks like it might have been on fire.
Yeah.
You didn't see, yes, it was on the fence.
And those cars have not been moved at all.
Okay. And I see the notice also had a landscaping issue. Did that comply?
There is a neighbor who lives across the street, and he does cut the vegetation, because sometimes it does encroach on the sidewalk. He keeps that, the neighbor does cut it. But yeah, that was complied.
Okay, so you're not seeking, so the only outstanding issues are the motor vehicle and the house numbers?
Yeah,
And the parking on the grass,
yeah, that one.
3 of them.
I see. The inoperable nature of the vehicles and then where they're parked is also a violation. Okay.
Yes.
Any communication with the respondent?
No.
No, ma'am.
Does the city think somebody's living there? No.
I've never seen anybody there.
It's a neat-looking old house. All right. What's the city seeking in terms of remedy?
$100 a day, 30 days.
All right, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
All right, in case 7-23-9905, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavits of posting for both the notice of violation and the notice of hearing, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the evidentiary case file as well as the testimony of city staff that the respondent's in violation of sections 302.9, 7-419, and is that the same? Hold on.
We should do a well check on that.
304.3 for the numbering standards, the building identification. I'll require respondents to comply within 30 days or face $100 a day for each day that the violation continues thereafter. Anything further for the
No, Your
magistrate?
Honor.
All right, so we will stand adjourned at 3:35.